and welcome in Tom Pace with the Talk of the Town, another edition of the Caddo Registrar of Voters Countdown to Election 2014. Today in the offices of Ernie Roberson, Caddo Registrar of Voters. And Mr. Ernie, what are you doing over here?
Tom, I'm signing what we call HAVA letters, and these are letters to people that need to give us a call about their Social Security number because what they put on the application didn't match with the Social Security Administration. It's one of the checks that we have, now that we have the new Help America Vote Act. And so we're sending out these letters. I want to remind people, if you get a letter from us or a card, it's very important. Give us a call.
Well, now that's a good point, because we're coming up on November the 4th. That's the general election. And when's the last day they can register to vote?
The last day to register to vote is coming up, and that's Monday, October the 6th. And here at our office, if you want to come in here at 525 Marshall, you have to be here by 4:30. If you're bringing in an application, we'll bring it in by 4:30. If you're mailing it, it needs to be postmarked on October the 6th. But if you're submitting it online, caddovoter.org, you have until midnight on October the 6th, and you can use your Louisiana driver's license audit code or your special ID audit code and put it in there, and you have until midnight on October the 6th to register to vote or make changes.
Again, with Caddo Registrar of Voters, Ernie Roberson over here at the Registrar's office. And Ernie, I guess the question, have you received many applications?
Tom, we've received a lot of applications. We've gotten a lot of paper in here, well over 10,000 applications, beginning about the 1st of August until, here in mid-September. And some of them, most of them were ours, and some of them were for Bossier and other parishes, but the bulk of it was for Caddo. And we've sorted through, and we haven't gotten a lot of new registrants out of that, but we have got a lot of address changes. And in our world, if you get your address correct, you're going to the correct poll because it's going to mail you a card telling you where to go vote. And so that's as good to us as a new registration.
All right. Now, here's another question I've been asked. Can felons register to vote, or what's the status on them?
Well, one of the problems with the registration group that we had here was that they were telling people that were felons that they could go ahead and register, and that's really not true. You can't register until you've completed whatever the terms of your incarceration were. Probation, parole, house arrest, whatever it was. You have to complete all that through the Department of Corrections, receive your release letter, and then bring that to us here at the Registrar's office along with your ID. Then you have to come in person, and you can re-register to vote. And if you were registered before, then we kind of dust off your application, take a look at it, and see if you need to do a new one. And we go from there. And basically, you can only register once you have completed the terms of your imprisonment. And we've had a lot of felons send in applications, and in a way that's kind of commendable. They do want to be part of the process when they are eligible to do so, but right now they got to wait until they get that release letter.
In fact, so what you're saying is felons go through the entire process, serve their time. Once they have received the information, then they can come register. But if it's misdemeanors, that doesn't count, right?
Misdemeanor is not what we're looking at. We're looking strictly at the felons, and we've had a lot of applications from them this time.
All right. So what about my registration, or if you will, the citizens' registration, and how do they find out where they vote?
Well, the easiest way, first of all, if you did receive your voter ID card, which you should be receiving, it takes about 2 weeks after we process the application before it gets to you, but you can go online at Caddo Voter, CADDOVOTER.org. You can go online, and at the top there's a link that says, am I registered, or where do I vote? Click either one of them and put in your name and your zip code, and you can look up where you go to vote. You can look up your party information, and probably by the time this video hits our website, you'll be able to see what's on your ballot too.
Wow. So it's very simple. So that's a 24/7 process by way of the computer to actually determine all this.
That's true. You can look whenever it's convenient for you. If you're coming home from work, or if you've got some extra time, you can look it up. And I really want to encourage people that if there's somebody that you know that's new to the process, kind of go over it with them with caddovoter.org, and they can find everything they'll need to know. The 14 constitutional amendments we're going to be voting on, they're on there, as well as the parish proposition. It's on there. You can actually download that, plus the fact you can find out what's on your ballot, and then you'll be ready to vote. You'll know what you're doing whenever you go in there to vote, because you only got 3 minutes when you go to vote.
3 minutes?
3 minutes, and everybody's probably going to be voting on 8 or 9 different candidate-style issues, and then, of course, the propositions. And I do want to remind people, your ballot will count as long as you vote on one issue or candidate. In other words, if you just wanted to vote for one thing, walk in and say, that's it, and then hit the cast vote button, you could do it. But once you hit that cast vote button, it's over. So don't do that unless you're ready to vote. But if you don't want to vote on the constitutional amendments, you don't have to. But when you come to early voting, you got to scroll through all those constitutional amendments, because we have those ballots that or machines in here that you actually have to scroll through.
Now, listen, Ernie Roberson, there is no mulligans for all you golfers. There is no do-over. Once you hit the cast vote button, that's it. Now, Ernie, one other thing. Encryption and security for registration. How strong is this? We've seen lots of issues come up recently with major companies.
Well, caddovoter.org runs through the Secretary of State's website, and that is a major secure web server. So I encourage people feel very comfortable in using that. You're only going to be putting in the last 4 numbers of your Social Security number, and of course you'll be putting in your driver's license number. That's a possibility, and all your other information. But this is a secure server, and I encourage everyone to use it, because to tell you the truth, Tom, if the computer says to you it's been accepted, that basically means the next morning when we look at it, we're going to accept it too. But if the computer gives you a message that you need to print it off, that means you missed something in there. And so you're going to have to print it off and mail it in or bring it to us.
So there you have it. Ernie Roberson, Caddo Parish Registrar of Voters, talking about the final deadline for registering to vote for the November 4th general election. Date and day, please again, Ernie.
Monday, October the 6th, here at our office. If you're bringing it in, 4:30 p.m., 525 Marshall at the corner of Milam and Marshall downtown.
Tom Pace, Talk of the Town for Caddo Registrar of Voters Election 2014 update.